Welcome to Sex Ed with DB. I'm your host, Danielle Bezalel. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the podcast. If you love and support the work that we do, join my crew on Patreon to win amazing prizes like our adorable merch, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, private sessions with yours truly, and incredible sex toys. Go to patreon.com/sexedwithdb to join my crew. Get discounts at all of my favorite brands at sexedwithdb.com. And follow us on Instagram at sexedwithdbpodcast and on TikTok at sexedwithdb. If you want to partner with us, email us at sexedwithdb@gmail.com. Hello. Happy Friday. I am feeling pretty good. Really excited about this question. I hope you're doing well. This question is all about getting more in tune with your pleasure. How do I get more in tune with my pleasure? And I really like this question because I think that similar to the libido question of how do I increase my libido, there are so many things that could be going on in the world around you, in your relationships, with your job, with your family, if you have kids, if you have daily responsibilities, as we all do, that are getting overwhelming or stressful. And all of these things can absolutely impact our pleasure. So the first thing that I'll say before going through an amazing checklist that our social media intern, Sarah, created, so shout out to Sarah, I just want to encourage you to really check in with yourself and figure out, how are you feeling? Is this something that you feel like you want to talk to a healthcare professional about, or a therapist, or a sex therapist? There are always options to chat with a professional about how you're feeling. If you're feeling like it's taking over your joy or you can't function properly. And so that's number one that I want to offer. But I also have this really amazing checklist that you can kind of go through that encourages not only your pleasure, but for you to get really, really good solo sex, for you to get in tune with your body and your needs. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of share all the details with you, and then really recommend that you sign up for our newsletter if you want to get other amazing free resources like this one, where you can always go back to it. We have amazing graphics and links that you can check out with discount codes for our partners. And just, highly recommend signing up for our newsletter. You can go to our website, sexedwithdb.com, and sign up there. But here we go. How do you get more in tune with your pleasure? So number one, the main thing I want to say for number one is set the scene, right? So like, whether you get pleasure for yourself in front of a mirror, or in the shower, or in bed, or somewhere else, here are a few considerations for you. So what do you want your environment to feel like? And what items would you want nearby? So maybe, there's a distracting noise or potential for someone to interrupt you. Do you need to lock a door or wear earphones for you to kind of get in the zone? Would softening the lights or changing the color allow you to further relax into your body to get into your pleasure? Do you need any extra materials like towels or anything to take care of fluids, or a lube or anything? Are there any toys that you might want to clean to use? If you're in the tub and you're having a little me time, do you want to bring waterproof toys to the tub? What does your body need to feel relaxed and open to arousal? Maybe you feel really sexy in a certain garment or lingerie, or after you put on a special lotion. Also, I just want to take this moment to recommend this glorious button body soothing cream from Future Method. If you go to our website, to our discount page, you can find a link. You can get 15% off with code SEXEDWITHDB. They have amazing butt products. So highly recommend you try their lotion. It smells absolutely delicious. I use it all the time on my tush. When you're getting in the zone, maybe leave some water nearby. Hydration really helps with lubrication and better blood flow, which can lead to better orgasms if that's what your goal is for solo sex. How can you feel most cozy and comfortable in your space? So really, again, setting the scene can allow you to get more in tune with your body, your needs, your pleasure. Number two, stimulate the mind. And here's where I'm going to talk through some ideas and options for ethical porn. And if you haven't heard of ethical porn, let me tell you a little bit more. It is adult content that is consensual and transparent. It's created in an environment that emphasizes safety and respect and doesn't contribute to wider social inequalities via, troublesome post-production marketing. It doesn't fetishize, it is more inclusive, it's diverse, and features different kinds of bodies and experiences. And I'm going to share three alternative and ethical porn sites and apps that we recommend for you to check out. Number one is Crash Pad series. They honestly depict female and queer sexuality, and they feature real life couples of all identities, sexualities, and body types. The second one is Make Love Not Porn. They feature make love, not porn stars, who are just regular, normal folks recording their lovemaking and their sex lives and creating videos of what real life sex looks like. And number three, a personal fave of mine is Dipsy, which is a female founded platform bringing you short and sexy audio stories designed to get you in the mood. And their stories include BIPOC voices, LGBTQ stories, BDSM, consent, paying attention to the clitoris, combos around condoms, and so much more. And number three, lube it up. There's this misconception that I feel needs to be corrected, which is that lube is just for partnered sex, which isn't true. It can really enhance the pleasure of solo play. And if you're using any toys, it can help prevent irritation caused by friction. And there are tons of different lube brands with their, different pros and cons, but here are some things to consider with each type of lube. Water-based can be used in almost any situation, including with silicone toys and with latex and non-latex condoms. However, it can leave a sticky residue and you may need a lot of it as it really dissolves quickly. Oil-based lube, it lasts a long time and can be used for massage play and sexy play. However, it really increases the chances of a ripped or torn condom and can cause bedding stains. So don't use oil-based lube with condoms. And finally, we have silicone-based, which is a silky smooth lube that can last longer than other types of lube. However, it is not safe to use with silicone toys. It can deteriorate silicone toys' surface, making it more prone to bacteria. So just be careful with that. And if you follow us on social, then you know that our go-to silicone lube is Uber Lube, and it's actually recommended by leading doctors, so you know it's safe for your body, and not to mention it's super smooth for pleasure. If you want to try it yourself, get 15% off with code SEXEDWITHDB. Highly recommend it. Number four, when you're getting in tune with your pleasure, is toys, right? We talk about toys all the time, but it's not for nothing. I think that they can lead to a lot of pleasure, and your hands are great, and they're a great tool that you can use anytime, which is very freeing. But toys can bring your pleasure to a whole new level and can get it done a lot quicker. It can feel better. Just, it's a different kind of experience than masturbating with your hands. And so, again, you don't need them, but if you are interested in getting started or expanding your collection, here's a breakdown of some options that we recommend and what they offer. So there's a wand vibe. Highly recommend the Magic Wand, which is not only the OG of vibrators, but it literally is the most iconic and popular pleasure product ever used for good reason. Code SEXEDWITHDB gets you 15% off. If you're looking for like a discreet clit vibe that you can take on the go when you're traveling, and if you really want a smooth, silky shave at the same time, let me explain. Try Freya. Essentially, it's this really amazing 2-in-1 razor and vibrator. When you take the razor head off, the handle is used for a clitoral vibe. Again, code SEXEDWITHDB for 20% off. And then finally, if you're someone who really likes dual stimulation, G-spot and clit stimulation at the same time, I highly recommend a rabbit vibe. There are some really inexpensive and high quality ones out there. I'd recommend getting one from Lion's Den. They have amazing options. If you filter by 5 stars, you can see what most other people like, and they have premium body safe materials, which is super, super important when we're talking about putting anything in and around your genitals. At Lion's Den, Sex Ed with DB gets you 15% off. And so just to recap here, you want to set the scene, you want to stimulate the mind, you want to lube it up, and if toys are your thing, definitely check those out. Just, when it comes to your pleasure and figuring out what you like and getting in tune with your body, it's so important to make time for it. If you're not really in the mood, maybe, don't shame yourself for not being in the mood. But if you are wanting to get in the mood, if you're finding that lately you're not in the mood and you're trying to get more in the mood, again, I highly recommend, figuring out what works for you, whether that be putting in daily practices of making time and space for masturbation, whether it be going on a walk every day to get your blood flowing, or doing some yoga or meditation or journaling to really get you in the zone of feeling how you want to be feeling to de-stress and get more pleasure. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you all. I don't really say that enough, but thank you so much for listening and for supporting. And again, always want to hear your questions. So thank you so much for writing, and I'll see you guys on the web. Our creator, host, and executive producer is me, Danielle Bezalel, aka DB. Our co-producer and communications lead is Cathren Cohen. Our co-producer is Brian Peoples. Our social media intern is Sarah Kelly. Our music theme is by Hook Sounds. Thank you so much to our featured guests, partners, and our listeners. Want to advertise with us? Email us at sexedwithdb@gmail.com. For more sex ed content, follow us on IG at sexedwithdbpodcast and on TikTok at sexedwithdb. See you next time.